Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. What I got for you today is a review of actually this is a neat little quadcopter. This is the RC leading RC111. It is a micro, it is a camera bird, but it also has altitude hold. It's another one of the new altitude hold flyers coming out this year. We're going to be seeing a lot of that throughout 2016. So this is another one. Again, it's a micro. Very interesting design for the micro. It feels well built, I'll tell you that right now. There is one thing about it though. It uses a proprietary battery. It requires a proprietary battery charger that comes with this. It's a very interesting charger that plugs into this, then plugs into the wall and holds the battery like so while it's in the wall. Keep that in mind, folks. You're going to need to get replacement batteries from RC leading to provide you for that. It won't use generic batteries. It comes with an on-off switch. It also has a charging port on the belly for charging that battery. If you don't want to plug the battery into the wall, you can plug the whole quadcopter into the wall. That's kind of redundant in my opinion, but it has that. 2 megapixel camera, altitude hold, very bright LEDs on each one of these arms that can be turned on and off to save battery power. And again, SD card slot for your SD card. I don't remember if this came with a micro SD card reader. I don't believe it did. Well, maybe it did. I'll include a link right here, or words right here, whether this came with SD card and card reader for the quadcopter. Let's go over the transmitter. And the reason I want to go over the transmitter in detail today is that the instructions for this quadcopter were all in Chinese. I had to decipher this myself. Okay, but photo and video is a quick press of the upper left trigger button activates photo. A long press activates video or stops video. Quick press over here is for your flips. This is your headless mode button. It also has one key return, which you activate by pressing that button there. These are just plain old trim buttons for pitch and roll. You can turn the lights off on the quadcopter on and off by pressing up on what would normally be the throttle trim button, and pressing down on the throttle trim button will increase the rates to go to beginner and expert. This again is your throttle and yaw, and this stick here lower down and to the right is your pitch and your roll. Also, once you bind the quadcopter, if you want to start since this is an altitude hold quadcopter, notice that the throttle stick is centered. To start up the quadcopter into idle after it's been bound is bring both sticks down and outboard, and that will start up the quadcopter in idle. And then when you want to take off, you just give it throttle and then let go of the stick, and it will maintain altitude. One other thing, if you want to calibrate the quadcopter, if it's flying kind of screwy, you can bring these sticks down and to the left, and that will calibrate the quadcopter's gyros. So that's about it. Let's go up and we'll demonstrate the camera. I'm flying very early today. The sun's very low, so I don't know how well the camera's going to work. I'm out early because it's cool. The desert's getting hot. It's summertime here now. So there we go. Quadcopter is started. Turning on the transmitter. Binding the transmitter. And since it's bound, I'm turning on the camera. Holding the button down for 2 seconds. And the lights on the top of the quadcopter start to flash, indicating it is recording. Let's take to the air. Okay, starting the motors in idle by down and out. The motors are in idle, giving it some throttle. Let's go up a little bit higher, right about there, and we'll fly around the area. See how well that altitude hold works. Now I already flew this indoors and also tried the throttle off to make sure this thing will drop if I fly out of range, and it does. So there's no issues with flyaway. Going to a higher rate though. We have a little bit of a wind today at altitude there, and we'll take it up a little bit higher, right about there. And we're going to let the wind blow it back, and I'm going to do a pan as it's coming back. Oh, there's our favorite friends, the what do you call them? Ravens. I hope they're coming in. Let's see if we can keep up with them today. They love my quadcopters. Hello, Mr. Raven. All kinds of birds flying around today. and letting the wind blow it back. Trying to catch that raven in the view. I hope I'm getting it. Probably not though. But the altitude hold is working well. Let's bring it down low so you can see it now. So here we have the RC leading, RC111. Very nice, very stable. It's got that altitude hold. And as velocity increases, you know, it will drop a little bit, but when you bring it up back on the throttle, we'll climb back up to the altitude again. You got to give it a little more throttle to get it above the ground. Okay, let's go up high this time. We'll go above the lights. This is a nice quad. Very nice quadcopter. Little micro. Very advanced micro. Letting the wind blow it back again. There's always a wind in the morning around here. Okay, let's come back down now. Let's try the flips and all the other stuff. That's the camera. Turning the camera off too once we get down low. Oh, there's a hummingbird flying around my quad. Hummingbird thinks it's another hummingbird. Interesting. Camera coming off. Okay, camera should be off now. Let's try the flips. Flip button. You got to hold the flip button down to do a flip. Ready? It does flips. Okay, let's go into, there's expert rate. Expert rate's a little bit too much pitch for it. But it has an expert rate. Let's see what the yaw does in the different rates. No change in yaw, just pitch. Pitch increases. Intermediate seems to be good for today, so I'll leave it there. I'm going to go upwind. I'm going to turn the camera on one more time and let it drift back toward me with altitude hold on. Oh, no, that's the end of the flight, maybe. It's starting to drop. Yeah. It starts to drop slowly. Letting you know that its battery's getting low. You got to give it throttle to keep it into the air. So, that's about the flight time you get with it, too. So, and that's that. So that's the RC leading, RC111. Interesting quadcopter, advanced, a little micro. I kind of like this one. Hope you enjoyed the flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.